Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Nigger. Homo. Spick. Chink. Wop. Spick. White trash. Cracker. Queer. I don't know. I'm sure I missed something. But anyway, if any of those words, one of those words, upset you, right offhand, I'm thinking you're racist. If all of those words upset you, I think you're pretty sensitive. You shouldn't be watching my videos. If you take any of those words out of this context, the way I said it, they're just words. If you try to read something into it, I don't know, you got a problem. Oh yeah, I forgot. Cripple. Yeah, I like to call them handicap, but cripple, retarded. I mean, I can think of there's a whole bunch of these stupid, crazy ass words. But in this context, I'm making a statement. And when people get upset over stuff like that, they've got issues they're dealing with. Now, if you were to use one of these words towards a specific person, at the least, I would call it insensitive. You don't respect others, at the minimum, and also at the maximum, it would be considered you're looking for trouble, and you're promoting it, you're pushing it, and not always somebody is racist when they do that, because I've used those words before, and I mentioned it in one time when somebody was huffy and puffy and real mean and nasty, and he didn't have the gumption to jump. I mean, he was, talk, you know how those kind of are. They just talk. And eventually I started talking about his mother. That was beyond insensitive. That was nasty. But I was hoping to give him some courage so he'd jump. But that was when I was younger. I'm more sensitive now. And the thing that I find funny is people get bent out of shape over the thought of them being called a nasty name. I guarantee they weren't in the Marines. In the Marines, they do that a lot. Through training, what they do is they want to they're trying to teach you to control your temper, because you need to focus on what you need to do instead of get misled on stupid words. So they call you all kinds of names, and it's funny because I realized that when I was going through training, this was going on, and it's funny because you see, and I was 18 years old. I mean, now it's funny when you see adults that they they get stupid when they hear names like that. You know what I mean? They just, and I think it's funny. Now this is the part, this is really the reason why I'm making this video, is because these people are so weak on the inside. They're really weak people that what they do is they come back with, "You are racist." You know, I mean, I think it's funny, you know, and they say that because they don't want to take it personal. You know, like I say, if I was to call you some weird name, then you want to think I'm personal. When, I mean, yeah, you're going to take it like I'm racist. When really it's not. I'm calling you this name because it's personal. That's why I'm calling you this name. It has nothing to do with me being racist. And that's really what I'm trying to get across, is these people that they have no evidence, no facts to base this judgment on. They just say you're racist. You know, like, okay, I mean, that's a statement, but how do you make this racist? How do you make judgment saying that I'm racist because I called you some dorky name? You know, what the hell does that have to do with it? You are the one that I'm talking to. I'm not talking about your whole race. You know, I'm talking to you. You're the one that's a dork. You're the idiot. That's why. And the thing is, I could use other names. Me, probably. I don't like using racial names, and the main reason is it's not because I don't want to hurt your feelings. That has nothing to do with it. You're a dork. You don't have no feelings. So, but the reason I don't say mention your color or ethnic or something like that, the reason I don't mention that is because I'm sure the rest of them got to be a whole lot better than you. I mean, you're the one that was stuck on the bottom of the pot. You know, so that's why when I go to insult you, I want to do it more personal, such as calling you an idiot. And like I say, so that's why when I see comments on people that, but I'm tell you, I'm thinking it's funny because they would say stuff like I'm an idiot or stuff like that, and it's funny because they don't do it in your face. See, now if I'm going to call you something, I'm going to do it to your face. It's much more impressive that way. And and then when I'm going to call you on whatever it is I'm going to call you, it doesn't make any difference. Whatever it is that I'm going to call you, what I'm doing is I'm calling you out, is what it is. And see, that's another thing, especially in the United States. They, you know, everybody's so wimpy. They don't have enough sense to realize they're being called out. As a matter of fact, they don't even want to go out. You know what I mean? It's like I was talking to the guy about his mother. You know what I mean? Even him. I mean, how much more excuse do I have to give you to jump? You know what I mean? And it turned out this guy was a murderer. This guy was a murderer. He escaped from prison. He's a murderer. And he didn't even have the balls to jump. You know what I mean? So, that's what I'm saying is when people are sensitive to words, you know, they got problems. They really do. And it makes it worse when now what I was talking about was using nasty names, but now I'm talking about just plain words like you mentioned the Constitution. Well, all of a sudden you must be a communist. I mean, a terrorist because you mentioned the Constitution. You know what I mean? Freedom. You know, I'm a free man. When you say that, you must be a terrorist. You know what I mean? It's funny that the words, now I use words to profile people, yes, but I go deeper than the words. I go by the meaning of what they're saying. And so I say all the nasty names doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It doesn't. And like I say, if you your only thought is they must be racist, oh golly, you are weak. You are really emotionally crippled. You have a problem. You need to be more open. You need to be more willing to stand behind your words. That jerk is willing to stand behind his words. Y'all, if you're to be calling me a name like that, I'm thinking, well, you must be willing to stand behind your words to say something like that to my face. See, that's why I don't get into this racial. You see, I don't really make any of the racial stuff. I mentioned the racial times that I went through and stuff like that. But I say, you would think all the racial problems I went through, that I'd have some kind of racial hangout. No, I don't think so. Why? Because I've learned a lot of people are more mouth than they are substance. And you have to keep that in mind when you hear that. When they come up with a nasty name, that's because they're really not intelligent enough to come up with anything else. And like I say, more than likely, if it's on the street when they're saying stuff like that, they're calling you out, they think they have more physical substance than they do mental substance. That's why they call you a name. So, I mean, I don't know. But that's just the way I'm thinking. You know, I could be wrong. Hey, I've been wrong before. That's what happens when you take personal responsibility. You make mistakes. And like I say, I'm willing to stand behind it. But I say, even if it's wrong, I'll stand behind it and say, whoops, I'm wrong. Yeah, personal responsibility. But I say, don't get all tangled up in the words. It's the circumstances. You have to think what the person's been going through. I've let people call me names. I've let them do it. No big thing. Let them call me out. Well, yeah, they got a problem, you know. Or they're with their peers and they got to act like that. No big deal. I listen to them call me names, and then I just kind of chuckle and I move on. I'll go on around the corner. I don't suggest they come around the corner. I was forgiving when I was standing right out there. Around the corner, hey, things change. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.